Hey, beautiful human. Hope you're doing well. Enjoying your day. As you can see, I'm out in the sun, which feels really nice right now. Making this video before I do that, thank you. Thank you to those of you who have already expressed interest in either the Inner Altar Collective or the Brothers Altar Collective. It's really touched my heart to see those who are interested and to hear what is calling people forward, what people are needing right now in this moment in time, and how the space can be supportive. So thank you to those who haven't yet had a chance or are maybe a little bit on the fence. I hope that this video maybe encourages you or helps you with your clarity one way or the other. For those of you who know me, you know I'm big on right alignment, so doesn't hurt my feelings if you don't choose the space. It will hurt my feelings if your choice isn't a sacred one, whether it's a sacred yes or a sacred no. That does hurt my feelings because I want that for all of us all the time. So continue to be prayerful if you're not sure about whether this is the space for you, and perhaps for some of you who've already been prayerful or on the fence, maybe this video might offer you clarity. So making this video for two reasons. The first is to begin to introduce folks to the process and the spirit of the work that will undergird both spaces, the Inner Altar Collective and the Brothers Altar Collective. It's work that flown through me through my own journey of healing and transformation. I call it inner altar work, very straightforward. And so this video is to introduce folks to that, give you a taste of what we will sort of ground ourselves in space together. The second function of this video is to ask for your help. We are in a moment of time that is really challenging for a lot of people. There's a lot happening. In the energy of our world right now. And now more than ever, we need men and masculine beings who are showing up in their full power, divine power. We need men, and in particular Black men, who are answering the callings on their lives as healers, as leaders, to really impregnate the earth with seeds that are nourishing, and seeds that are healing, and seeds that are protective, and seeds that reflect the uniqueness of the medicine we can't even name yet, because it is so uniquely, profoundly created and embedded for them for a time such as this, that we've never even seen it before. There are Black men walking around with that kind of medicine, y'all, and oftentimes they don't know it, or they know it and they're afraid of it, and we don't know it, at least not consciously, and that's a problem. That's a problem, and it's a problem that Sons of Spirit was given to me by Spirit, and I said yes to help to rectify. So my ask is for you all to help me identify those Black men and invite them into this space with us, whether it be the Inner Altar Collective or the Brothers Altar Collective, or both. my ask is for you all to help me to call them in. And anyone who's ever answered a call, which is probably everyone, or wants to, everyone watching this video knows that sometimes on our journey, we need someone to call us in. We need somebody who sees us and says, you should be over here. I had a number of people on my journey who, before I saw myself, said, you should be over here. In fact, before I even ever identified as a healer, I went to the Spiritual Directors Conference. Shout out to Carolyn and all those folks. And a woman who would later go on to be a mentor of mine, this profound Black woman healer who later go on to be a mentor of mine and to invite me into a healing residency before I even understood myself as a healer, at the end of her workshop, approached me, and she looked at me and she said, you're brilliant, we came here for you, and invited me to do work and contribute to the community in St. Louis. I needed that. I didn't see myself, I didn't identify as a healer, I knew more about my gifts, but I still didn't understand them. I didn't know how they worked. But somebody saw me and saw what I was capable of and said, you are different. You are brilliant. We need your genius. Come over here. So that's what I'm asking you all to do. But I want you to do it in a particular way. I don't want you to just assume with the cognitive mind who those Black men are. I don't want you to send out just like a mass emailing to all the Black men you know, because this is a sacred moment, and we have to do a better job, all of us as humans, of understanding that this whole moment is a sacred moment. You know, any moment you're in is a sacred moment, and if every moment you're in is a sacred moment, it requires sacred presence and sacred mind and sacred heart and sacred intention. And our work together, our inner altar work together, is going to support us in being present to that more authentically and sincerely. Inter-altar work is really about understanding that the most profound divine wisdom and presence is inside. It's inside the heart specifically, but inside the body in its entirety. And our ability to go out into the world and be well resourced, our ability to go out into the world and make wise choices, our ability to go out into the world and be a source of healing as opposed to a source of trauma and wound and harm for others, our ability to understand more deeply and to answer our own calling upon our lives is all dependent on the nature and the condition of our inner altar and our relationship to it. Our ability to return to it. I mean, that's what real resilience, in my world anyway, looks like, is the ability to go back to the inner altar at all times and source from it what we need, and give to it what we need, because the inner altar is both how we give and receive to ourselves, which enables us, if it's in balance, to give and receive to the world. So inner altar work is about being able to connect with that place in a deep way that is lived and embodied and becomes not only a practice that you're doing on a regular basis, but over time you become the fullness of the altar itself. So you become a walking altar, a walking sanctuary when you are committed to your inner altar work. And just take a moment to be present to what the world would look like if more people, or all of us, walked around as living embodied sanctuaries. And the way we encountered each other was understanding that when I encounter such and such, I'm encountering an altar, I'm encountering a sanctuary, a unique sanctuary of its own divine making. Like what medicine, right, would we not only experience and bring, but not only experience, but that we would bring and offer. So that's what undergirds inner altar work, and will be how we come together and practice and pour into ourselves, and how you will be poured into in the space. Jamari's not going to be pouring, I will be pouring into you, but really Spirit will be pouring into you, and your higher self will be pouring into you, the ancestors will be pouring into you. And when we, especially as healers and leaders, when we strengthen the relationship we have to Spirit and ourselves in such a way in which we become a self-fulfilling cycle of resource, right? A closed-in cycle of resource. That is when we are able to make our biggest contribution to the wider ecosystem that we're a part of. Because we're not alone, so it's not about being hyper independent, but it's about being a contribution to the wider ecosystem in a way that strengthens it. Because when you're strong, the ecosystem is strong. When you're strong, we're strong. When we're strong, you're strong. And nobody has to be strong by themselves, and nobody has to be strong alone. So it really is about having such a defined relationship with self, source, and creator, that all the desires, goals, dreams, values, ideals you have for the world become self-fulfilling prophecies in your own life. And in you becoming that self-fulfilling prophecy, you become a presence, container, example, model, source of wisdom for us becoming and us fulfilling prophecy together. So I said a lot. Take a moment. So, as practice, again, this is a unique ask. In our monthly gathering, we won't be necessarily focusing on calling in Black men. We'll be focusing on all kinds of different things that are relevant to supporting you and your life and your connection with Spirit and all of that. But to support me and to provide an example of how powerful inner altar work can be and is, we're going to do this exercise. So this exercise is the intention we hold is we want to get clarity about who God is calling us to call in. So you're wanting to get clarity on who God is calling you to call in to this space in terms of Black men and Black masculine beings. That's our intention. So just take a moment to hold that. Who is God calling me to call in? An intention, setting a clear intention, is, whether it's a question or a statement, is really important with inner altar work. Why am I going to the altar in the first place? Right? And it doesn't got to be complicated. It can be, I'm tired and I need more energy. I want more energy. But having that clarity is important. Maybe you're not clear and what you want is clarity. So I'm going to the altar because I'm not clear and I want clarity, right? But setting a clear intention is is really important, whether, again, it's a question or a statement. So who is God calling you to call in? What black man holding, what medicine man of black experience and ancestry is God calling you to call in? And it might be somebody who doesn't know yet that they're a medicine man, that they're holding medicine for the world. Many of you are going to call in people who have no clue. Some of you are going to call in people who surprise you. Some of you are going to call in brothers, sons. And we do welcome young people into the space, obviously with parental guardian support. But you know, if there's young people who want to join the Brothers Heart Collective, they're certainly welcome. So just, yeah, sitting with that intention. And just invite you to begin to, if you're not already in a comfortable seat or position, and taking a moment here just to drop your awareness into the body. Drop your awareness into yourself here. And taking a couple deep breaths. And I want you to imagine that your heart is projected outward in front of you. So your heart is actually present in front of you. And give yourself permission to imagine. Don't make it hard. Imagine in whatever way, seeing, feeling, however it comes to you. But your heart is out in front of you. And just take a moment just to notice and appreciate your heart, which beats every second moment of the day with sacred intention to keep the life force that is you alive. That's its one job, one commitment in all the world. So many of us have so many different commitments in society right now and are drawn to so many different things. And here is your heart in front of you saying, I am here and love nothing more than to beat for you, to keep you alive and walking and here and present on this earth. Just offer it some gratitude for that. I want you to notice that there is a door or an opening within the heart present. Imagine whatever that door looks like. And then whenever you're ready, I want you to step through that opening, entering into the heart. And as you enter into the heart, you come into a presence of your inner altar. Now, this altar is going to be unique for you. It might be an actual table that's present there. It might be that the whole entire space within the heart is an altar. You might step into a whole different universe or galaxy. Whatever is present on the other side of that door is your altar. From the mantle above a fireplace to an entire new world or universe. That's your altar. And just take a moment to be present to it and taking it in. And if at any point it feels like too much, feel free to open your eyes, take a breath, and then come back. Feel free to ask it to turn it down a little bit. The energy of it, if it feels a little overwhelming, just say, hey, wow, you're beautiful and profound, or this is a lot for me, it's new for me. Just turn it down a little bit so it's calibrated well for my nervous system, and notice as it makes that shift for you. Remember, this is your heart, your inner altar. Its one and sole purpose is to ensure your survival. So how you feel matters. What you need matters. And as that starts to maybe shift for you so you can be present here, I want you to notice that there is an offering on the altar for you. Something you need. Might be as simple as a glass of water, but your altar has left something out for you, like leaving out cookies and milk for Santa. Your altar has said, here's something you need. Thanks for visiting today. Make sure you take this with you when you go. Just take a moment to be present to whatever that is. Feels important to take it in now, you can do that. Or to just put it in your pocket to take with you for later. Just offer gratitude for what that is. Taking a deep breath here. And next, I'm going to bring again our intention of and our question of who is God calling me to call in? What brother is God calling me to call in to this altar collective? And take a moment to notice the altar's response. You might notice a picture of that brother presents itself on the altar. A path might open up for you to walk. And you might find that brother sitting at a creek. However it shows up for you, offering that question, and notice the altar's response. Take a moment to really take that in, the answer. And take a moment to take him in as the answer. As the answer, your inner altar, which is an altar of divine wisdom and intuitive knowing. There is something you know about this brother that probably nobody else in the world knows, understands, or can see. You might not even have full clarity about what it is, but some part of you, this inner altar, feels it and knows it, and is naming him as the answer to this question, and the answer to a deeper question, longing, desire that the earth has for wisdom, medicine, truth, a way of being that only he can bring. And just take a moment to feel that. And it might have words, energy. It might bring up a moment with this brother. You might know exactly what it is, the gift of beingness that he brings. And you might not, but just feel into the energy of him being an answer and the answer to this question. Feel also to the relationship. Feel into also the relationship. Because in him being the answer to the question you posed, the question you posed is just as much about you as it is about him. Who is God calling me to call in? Which means there's a reason why the divine has chosen you to be the one who invites this brother, who initiates this brother into this sacred space. There's something about you that can only do what this moment requires. And you might know what that is, or you might not, but just feel for now. We got many more months to go together. Right now, just feel into the sense, the energy, the warmth that is this unique, sacred relationship between you and him that can only be formed by the uniqueness that is you and the uniqueness that is him. And just make note of it. Whatever shows up, whatever you hear, whatever you notice. And remember that. Put it in your pocket, because we'll use it later. When you have everything you need here, don't let me rush you. If you need to pause the video, do so. Just take a moment to offer some gratitude to the altar again, and to the divine, the ancestors, for providing this answer and this guidance and direction, for providing the resourcing that you needed, the offering. Take a breath here. And begin to turn your attention back to the opening, to the door. Moving back through that door, and as you do so, presencing yourself firmly into your own body, seeing again your heart projected out in front of you, thanking your heart once again. Maybe you notice a little bit of a different kind of relationship and appreciation here now, because who even knew all of this was in there? And then inviting your heart back into your chest. Noticing for a moment the warmth that's there in your chest. And noticing your heartbeat or the breath. Breathing into the heart. Slowly begin to open your eyes if you close them. Maybe noticing something living or 2 or 3 colors in the room with you. And then take a moment to notice how you feel now. At least one word. I feel a little more settled here. Full of the sense of my own power moving through me right now. How are you feeling? Good. Thank you all. So this brother you saw is the brother I'm inviting you, and God's inviting you, and Spirit is inviting you to call in right now into the Inner Altar Collective, or the Brothers Altar Collective. You will find accompanying this video more texty stuff about that. What's important for me to name here is that when you make that invitation, and it should be personal one, either by phone, by email, by voice note. I would discourage text, unless it's texting a voice note, or unless that particular brother actually strongly prefers that. But even that, I challenge the boundary a little bit, by maybe doing something a little bit different, like an email instead, because text can kind of have a little bit of a synthetic quality to it at times, but remembering what showed up for you as you engage this brother, I want to invite you to bring that energy into whatever you say and whatever you offer. For instance, and this must have came up for somebody, let's say when you sat with the relationship between the two of you, a squirrel or a train appeared, right? You might be present to how that squirrel or train might want to show up. You might say something to the brother like, I know this sounds kind of weird, but I've always thought about you as having squirrel energy, in the sense that I've always felt like you always know what's of true value, and you don't waste time doing things that aren't important. You're intentional, and you're energetic, and you're proactive about going out and getting what is of highest importance. And there's a kind of sacred squirrel energy in that, that I wish more of us embodied. And so I'm sending this invitation to you, sharing this space, these spaces that are available, and I really, really hope that you join. And I really, really desire for you to get all that you can from it, so that you can go out and be this unique medicine that we need in the world. Or you might say something like, just like a train, if you weren't here in the world, there are so many people and so many essential resources that would never make it to their destination. So I'm forwarding you this space because I hope that you can get poured into from it, and you can fully see and experience what I see when I look at you. And I hope that it becomes a place where you better understand yourself and feel supported to continue to be that presence here. And whatever that showed up in your meditation, visualization, and it might not be that distinct, it might have just been an energy and a knowing. Just trust it and lean into it. What was there is exactly what's needed in the invitation to make the difference. We do this thing often where we think that can't be enough, or it doesn't make sense to me. This cognitively, what showed up, Jamari, didn't make sense to me. It doesn't need to make sense. It's spirit. It already exists. It is fundamentally sense, and not knowledge sense, but sense. And so allow that already knowing and grounded sensing to do what it does. Don't overthink it, and just speak from the heart of what was present. Okay? And I'm here if you're still very confused and you're like, I don't even know what to say to this person, and need support. Feel free to message me, or you can schedule a soul chat with me, or if you just want to chat about what this experience was even like for you, I'd love to hear. Love to absolutely hear. But thank you for saying yes to the call to call our brothers in. Again, thank you for those of you who have already expressed interest. More will come out here soon about formal invitations into the space. And I hope that experiencing this has gotten you even more excited about what's to come. Make sure you take in your offering from your altar and your resourcing. If you didn't do that, do it again, and do it again today, and do it again, and do it again for the rest of the week. Love y'all. Peace.